Today we're going to look at the worst cards that are very Halloween-like. We're talking vampires, witches, spirits, bats, werewolves, zombies, whatever. If it's within the nature of Halloween, it's good with me. Alright, so we're going to start off with Jacob Thune's suggestion of Kumbai Witches. It's a black 1/3 human wizard with tap. Kumbai Witches deals 1 damage to any target and 1 damage to any target of an opponent's choice. Yeah, I don't want to give my opponent any target, because that's not how... At least the Kumbai Witches can take the damage. What do I got going on here? Yeah, the Kumbai Witches. Alright, that's a terrible card. I agree. Okay, next up, let's go with Grandma Singer from Abzo. Grandma. You heard of Big Pop? You heard of Grandpa Singer? Well, now we got Grandma Singer. Here we got... It's a black 4 generic 3/3. Is it really a human wizard? Oh, this is this a witch? I thought the singers were vampires. Anyway, let's... Some ungodly ghoul-looking thing. 5 mana for a 3/3. Pay a black and 1 generic tap target. Creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. You gotta be absolutely kidding me. I mean, when my opponent taps out 5 mana, you know, I'm starting to wet my pants a little bit. But when they put this thing on the battlefield, it's not so scary anymore. Really not so scary. Grandma looks scarier than she actually is. We got our first super chat in the house. Thank you very much. Rated Lex, the Bog Witch. There's a lot of witches for a creature type that I think does not exist. On Bog Witch. How desperate are you for a dark ritual? Some people are desperate. Bog Witch. Okay, we got a black 2 generic, 1/1 spell, human spell shaper. Yeah, you know, like, people who play Dark Ritual, or rituals in general, they don't have a lot of creatures in their deck. Especially ones that make rituals. And you already have 3 mana. What the hell is this? Oh, I mean, I guess you paid 3 mana for this. You can pay 1, then you're up to 5 mana. It's just it's a 1/1 creature. You have to still discard a card. You still gotta pay more mana to get a Dark Ritual. The world is the body. The mana is the blood. The witch is the surgeon. Yeah, right. Alright, next up, let's get something from Christopher B. Call from the Grave. What the hell is this? Is this a real card? What the hell is going on here? It's called an Astral card. Is this real? Black 2 generic sorcery. Put a random creature from a random graveyard into play under your control. Call from the grave deals to you an amount of damage equal to that creature's casting cost. I can't say it's an AI generated card. I can't say it's a custom Magic Gathering card. This is literally on Scryfall. Origin unknown. What a bizarre card. Yeah, I don't... A random creature! Let's go roll them dice. We get some... Could be a big baddie, could be nothing. Could be a pathetic 1/1 Raging Goblin. Next super chat from Platonic Liquid. Bulky's card for being one of the worst rares. What is Bulky's card here? Looking for Bulky. Bulky in the house. I see Bulky, but I don't see the card. Only worse for you, Nikachu and the Coffee Crew. Well, what the hell is it? Unliving Psychopath. The Unliving Psychopath is a black 2 generic 0/4 zombie assassin. It's not a very powerful assassin, but maybe he's got a strong weapon. He's got a black for a black. We can Unliving Psychopath gets +1 -1 until end of turn. Alright, that's like a Morphling-like ability. Or we have for a black, tap destroy target creature with power less than Unliving Psychopath's power. So I gotta like, I gotta pump this guy up in order for him to like destroy something. It's like a super royal assassin, but for an insanely larger amount of mana. Not worth it. I didn't even heard this today is going to be a show of cards you never heard of because they're so bad that's not on anybody's radar. Satan's Catfish with the Blight Keeper. Blight Keeper, a black 1/1 bat. Why aren't there more bats in this game? Are there any iconic bats that see competitive play? It's a bat imp. Didn't know a bat can be imp simultaneously. Flying. With this insane activated ability of 8 mana? What are you, nuts? When am I gonna have 8 mana? It's like pathetic early on in the game. It's pathetic in the late game. Sacrifice Blade. I gotta sack this thing as well. Target opponent loses 4 life and you gain 4 life. This very expensive lightning helix. It withers fruit and flesh alike. Yeah, sure. Toilet Duck. The Cackling Witch. Artwork looks like one of those clown monsters from Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something. You better believe it. It's time to duel! Truth be told, I'm watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. I'm already through episodes 1 to 3. Trying to be one with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. Alright, we got a black 1 generic 1/1 Spell Shaper. It's actually a human Spell Shaper. Pay black and X tap. Discard a card from your hand. Target creature gets +X+0 until end of turn. I thought I was going to Mind Twist for a second. Then, now we're talking. Apparently, everyone's... Oh, you hear that? You hear that, players? Mind Twist. Are you scared? Pulling that one out for Halloween, am I? Everyone hears... Most people hear Mind Twist, and they're like, no, you can't take that off the ban list. That's too scary. Destroy us all. Really, it's nothing. Okay. Ikaya. Thank you very much for the super chat. Haunt of the High Tower. No, we're not donating it to chat. We're donating it to you. You donate to yourself. Haunt of the High Tower is a black 4 generic 3/3 vampire with flying and lifelink. It's got a lot of things going for it. Whenever Haunt of the High Tower attacks, defending player discards a card. That also seems not too bad. And then whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, put a +1/+1 counter on the Haunt of the High Tower. Honestly, I would not play this card personally. But it's not in the range of terrible. It's just in the range of Commander. You know, there are good cards, there are bad cards, and then there's Commander cards. This is like more of a Commander card than anything else. Haunt can be a good Commander in the 99. Exactly. You know, there you go. Darkstar Ashura nailed it. It's Commander. It's not a bad card. It's Commander playable. Paxton with Streffen. The Mar Progenitor. Remember, you can name zombies and werewolves. You know, anything Halloween-like. I got the etc. in the title for a reason. Okay, we have a red, black, 2 generic, 3/2 Vampire Noble with flying. At the beginning of your end step, create a blood token for each player who lost life this turn. Whenever Streffen attacks, you may sacrifice 2 blood tokens. If you do, put a vampire card from your hand. Whoops, what have I done? Whenever Streffen attacks, you may sacrifice 2 blood tokens. If you do, put a vampire card from your hand onto the battlefield, taps and attacking, and gains indestructible until end of turn. That is a lot of work, but at the same time, at the beginning of your end step, you create the blood token anyway for each player who lost life this turn. So it's like a show and tell for the vampires. This is also pretty good. Should I just change the show to like good cards? Actually, it's Commander playable. Again, would not play this card myself. Wouldn't do it. Okay, Ali claims Shambling Ghoul is terrible. Is that the one that like damages you? Black 1 generic for a 2/3 enters the battlefield tapped. I agree. A little sad though. This is a very sad card. What is this? A common? Where did this thing come from? Battle Bond? Once he gets up and going, he will forever shamble on. Not really. It's not long until he runs right into a wall. We got Jay with the super chat. Ominous Clown Colossus. Omni Clown Colossus. Oh God! What is going on here? Send in the clowns. It's funny. Halloween's supposed to be about scare. Well, I mean, Halloween isn't about anything anymore. You can dress up as whatever you want. Clown being one of the more popular choices. Red, 8 generic. Didn't think a clown would be in the red. I guess it makes sense. They're like chaotic. 7/7 affinity for clowns. What the hell? Are there even enough clowns in the game? Oh yeah, changelings. Okay, and his trample. Pyroclasm. Oh, the clown in there with the jokes. Okay, Pyroclasm deals pi damage to each non-clown creature, so 3. We're not rounding up from anything, are we? 3.14. It's nothing even to round up. You'd be rounding down. Okay, who do we got next? Who haven't I got yet? Chen Fred. The Foretold Soldier. So, Foretold Soldier, green, 2 generic. Ooh, it's a green zombie. Okay. This is a pretty big creature for 4 mana. It's a 6/6. Must block if able. Can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. Not bad. Whenever the Foretold Soldier deals damage, exile it face down. It becomes Foretold. God, I do not like that. Yeah, that's the last thing I want to do, is actually recast my creatures. So when it's Foretold, it's like a 2/2 dummy, isn't it? During your turn, you may pay 2, exile this card from your hand face down, cast on a later oh no, it's just nothing. Okay, that's great. I punch you, and then I gotta sort of disappear for a little while. Not infinitely shambling here now, are we? Jess with the jack-o'-lantern. Such card exists. I guess we're gonna accept unglued cards today. We already went through one. Was that clown even legal? Okay, let's look at jack-o'-lantern. It's a real card. Okay, 1 mana artifact. Pay 1, tap, sacrifice jack-o'-lantern, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. Draw a card. I have to sack the whole thing for 1 card. And I draw a card. Relic of Progenitus wipes out all graveyards, and I draw the card. Pay 1, exile jack-o'-lantern from your graveyard. Add 1 mana of any color. I hate it. Next super chat coming from Joshua, the Repentant Vampire. Repentant. I think I got that. He's a vampire. All right, it's 5 mana, 3/3 flyer. Whenever a creature dealt damage by Repentant Vampire this turn is put into a graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Repentant Vampire. Threshold. Repentant Vampire is white and has tap, destroy target black creature. What the hell is going on there? Okay, if it becomes white, like, can I nail you with both Circle of Protections, or like, do I have to ignore this thing, or is it like the Eldrazi, like, okay, I have no color anymore. I've gone from colorless. Sorry, I've gone from blue to like colorless. Okay, Steve Cooper says, looked it up, and that Astral card is from 1997 MTG game that uses 4th edition cards and some rares from previous sets. Oh, you mean Chandalar? Was that a Chandalar exclusive? It's a random card. It was the first version of MTG Arena, the earliest version. Okay, Tommy with Alcatraz. Oh no, sorry, Alcazats. Aclazats. The new Bat God. Deepest Betrayal. 5 mana for a 4/4 lifelink flyer. Bat God. When Aclazats attacks, each opponent discards a card. For each opponent who can't, you draw a card. So they have to be empty-handed and you start getting the business. Whenever an opponent discards a land card, create a 1/1 black bat creature token. When Aclazats dies, returns to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control. This card's insane, actually. This card is just straight up lethal. And it becomes a Temple of the Dead. You add a black 2 generic, tap, transform Temple of the Dead, activate only if a player has 1 or fewer cards in hand and only as a sorcery. I think this card is busted. Okay, yo, Lil Ted, good morning. Banshee. You want the Banshee, huh? Banshee hurts me more. The Banshee. This is an old card. Okay, it's an old one. It's a black 2 generic 0/1 spirit. They had spirits back then? What was the creature type back then? It was just summon Banshee. Okay, I don't want to read that one. I want the updated templating. I like updated templating. Okay, pay X tap. Banshee deals X damage divided evenly between you and target creature or player. Round up for you and down for that creature or player. This sounds terrible. What a rotten deal. And that's my creature. My creature hurt me. The hell is going on here? Alright, who's next? Let's get Mr. Very Smart with Uncle Istvan. This card, does this guy have like some lore that people love? The 4-mana 1/3. Prevent all damage that will be dealt to Uncle Istvan by creatures. Because you won't get an inch close to him with this axe on the... I'd love to see in person, like, Eldrazi versus Uncle Istvan. He should also destroy the creature that you block. Just completely destroy the damn thing. Next super chat we got from Darkstar Ashura. Putrid Imp. Isn't this like a reanimating all-star in cube? It's a black 1/1 fly. It doesn't even flying, sorry. You have to discard a card and it gains flying. And then threshold, as long as there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard. Putrid Imp gets +1/+1 and can't block. Yes, on the face, this card is garbage. I hate this card too. But it's usually used in reanimator decks. That's how they discard their reanimator targets. Anyone can play it though, so it could backfire on you. Watch out. Danny! Vampire Spawn. We got a black 2, generic 2/3 vampire enters the battlefield. Each opponent loses 2 life and you gained 2 life. Pathetic. I've seen better vampires before. You're gonna gain some. You only gain 2 life. I wish you could gain life equal to the life lost this way. And the Scarecrow Skulkin? The Skulkin cycle? What the hell is the Skulkins? There are a lot of Skulk. Okay, it's a 5-mana 3/3. It's an artifact. Pay 2. Target white creature gains persist until end of turn. That's highly specific. What do we do for the black creatures? It's a 2/1 for 2. Pay 2. Target black creature gains wither. Wither. A green creature gets +1/+1 for 3 mana. You have got to be joking. That is so sad. The Jawbone Skulkin. Oh, okay. It's a 1-mana 1/1. And I guess it's like, you know, it's fast in terms of all the Skulkins. Target red creature gains haste until end of turn for 2 mana. It's actually probably the most playable out of all these. Oh, no, this is not bad. I mean, I'm not paying 4 mana for a 3/2. But the Shell Skulkin, for 3 mana, target blue creature gains Shroud until end of turn. That's wild. Okay, that's the best one. That's like gives you a little bit of protection. And anyone can play this. This is an artifact. Throw it into any deck that you want. Just make sure you have a lot of mana, or it's completely useless. Bryce! What do you got for us, Bryce? Odric. Blood Cursed. It is a 3-mana 3/3 vampire soldier. When Odric Blood Cursed enters the battlefield, create X blood tokens, where X is the number of abilities from among flying. First strike, double strike, death touch, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, reach, trample, and vigilance among the creatures you control. But you have no creatures, it will do nothing. And it's only blood tokens. Some people like the blood tokens out there, I guess. I like it when people run out of blood tokens. Okay, anyone else I did not get yet? I don't think I got one from Evan yet. We did Grandmother. She is a grandma, that is for sure. Rip Audrek. Is he dead? Did he die? He sort of looks like Christopher Lee from Star Wars. This is his lightsaber. What was that, Count Dooku? I don't remember. Oh, you didn't get one? Okay, Lesser Werewolf. From Toads. Some of you show up every single day, you know, like Toads. I appreciate the support, but it also feels like you've always got your your card mentioned already. Okay, we have a black 3 generic 2/4 human wolf, which has been errated to werewolf. Okay, we have for 1 black. It's got an ability. If Lesser Werewolf's power is 1 or more, which it already is by default, it gets -1/-0 until end of turn, and put a -0/-1 counter on target creature blocking or blocked by Lesser Wolf. Activates this ability only during your declare blocker step. Why? What are we doing here? What is the point of this? This is the weirdest combat trick of all time. So in exchange for the werewolf getting weaker, I will make your creature weaker as well? But it's like a wash. Doesn't even do anything. Unbelievable. Okay, Iris, Lord of Tressorhorn. The Lord. What is Tressorhorn? Oh yeah, the old 4-mana 10/4 creature. Maybe it's not that bad. Okay, when Lord of Tressorhorn comes into play, you lose 2 life. You gotta sack 2 creatures. Oh no. And an opponent draws 2 cards. And we pay a black to regenerate Lord Tressorhorn. God, this is definitely top 10 worst zombies. And you splash like you have to play 3 colors for this damn thing. You're splashing at least two colors for this guy. If you want to be scary for Halloween, you be a Lord Tressorhorn. That's what you do. Next super chat from Knife. Thank you so much, Knife. Kazaroff. Why does that sound like a chess grandmaster? Kazaroff Sengir, or is it Kazar? Okay, it's Kazaroff. Pure Blood. It's a 7-mana 4/4 flyer. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is dealt damage, put a +1/+1 counter on Kazaroff. Also pay 4 mana. Kazaroff deals 2 damage to target creature. Oh, I thought for a second it's going to deal 2 damage to every creature. This is it's not a blood sucker. This is a mana sucker. Suck up my mana. Suck up both the red and the black mana. Gearharm. I played an EDH for the lulz. Everyone plays EDH. Oh, you mean this guy? Time to pull out the Lord of Tressorhorn deck. Ha ha ha. Everyone ready to draw some cards down there? Sean with Frankenstein. Yeah, what's Halloween without Frankenstein? Oh, there is Frankenstein's monster. This is lore. How many novels are actually been pulled into the Magic the Gathering universe? Okay, we have a black X01 monster. When Frankenstein's monster is brought into play, if you do not take X creatures from your graveyard and remove them from the game, Frankenstein's monster is countered. Well, wouldn't that be a pity? For each creature removed from your graveyard this way, you may choose to give Frankenstein's monster a permanent +2/+0, +1/+1, or +0/+2. Sorry, yeah, +0/+2. Balance it. I gotta balance it out. How do you balance your Frankenstein's monster? You want to give it more butt? Give it more butt or arms? The choice is yours. Frankenstein's monster is canon and also not in Innistrad for some reason. That is bizarre. They gotta bring back. I guess they obliterated it. Got defeated by the Eldrazi. That's it. What happened to Frankenstein? The Eldrazi. The Eldrazi dealt with them. Pedgeman with Boris Devil Boon. Good old Boris. Who the hell is Boris? 5 mana 2/2 with the activated ability, a 4 mana tap. Put a 1/1 black and red demon creature token named a Minor Demon. It literally has a name, Minor Demon, on the onto the battlefield. What do Minor Demon tokens look like? I should make a dummy. I should play a dummy game by myself online to find out. You know what? What does a dummy creature token look like in Magic the Gathering? Sorry, Minor Demon. It's for the demon decks, I guess. Alright, Balder. You love making super chats. I love it too. Singer Vampire, otherwise donate. I don't think we've actually looked at the singer. We look at the grandmother. But the singer of all singer vampire. We need Sengir. Sengir Vampire. It's the black Sarah Angel. Also a 4/4 flyer for 5 mana. Whenever a creature dealt damage by Sengir Vampire this turn dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Sengir Vampire. Great draft card. It's also good if you're trying to make a themed deck. Okay, what do we... we got Bobby. 4 mana, make a 1/1. Such a value. Exactly. That's cash money right there. Don't forget, hey, it's hard to make... Back then, it was hard to make tokens, I think. Like, if you had a repeatable source of making creatures, that was insane. That was broken. That's why they balanced the game out with Timmy, that pinged creatures for 1 damage. They had to balance the game out like that. Oh, Timmy would hate to see what the game has become today. It's an absolute abomination. Okay, let's get one from Anna. Feral Shadow. It's a black 2 generic 2/1 Night Stalker with flying. You know, it was in a 1999 starter set. In those starter sets, the cards were a little bit underwhelming. So if you had flying, that was one of the more broken mechanics. Still is one of the more broken mechanics, to be honest. Not all shadows are cast by light. Some are cast by darkness. The darkness creates a shadow. Paul Rogg with... we looked at Banshee. We saw the Banshee. Allie with All Hallows Eve. If I remember, this card is good. It's a 4-mana sorcery, exile All Hallows Eve with 2 scream counters on it. So it was the first suspend card, except it doesn't want to admit it. They should actually just errata this thing to have suspend. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, if All Hallows Eve is exiled with a scream counter on it, remove a scream counter from it. If there are no more scream counters on it, put it into your graveyard, and each player returns all creature cards from his or graveyard to the battlefield. It's literally, it's Living End with suspend. It's Living End with suspend. That's all it is. Living End isn't even a real creature. Ellie's like, been watching your VODs and loving them. Glad to finally make one. Welcome, Ellie. Yeah, apparently, honestly, I had the wrong time in the description. Even though I mentioned the time, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time at the end of every show. People couldn't find the show because actually it was wrong in the description for like a year. So sorry about that. Now we got a whole bunch of new, fresh faces. People who were not in the know now are in the know. Like Platonic Liquid. Cyclopean Mummy. Needs that ability for balance. Really, was it broken? A 2-mana 2/1 with Cyclopean Mummy, which is a zombie, is put into a graveyard from the battlefield. Exile Cyclopean Mummy. Why would it get exiled? Shouldn't it just go to a tomb and that's like effectively a graveyard? I don't even know the flavor of this thing. But if it dies, it's gone. It can't come back. Because you never know if you're going to reanimate your Cyclopean Mummy, right? We got to balance it out. It's got to be balanced out big time. The Is with Falcon Wrath Marauder. It's a 5-mana 2/2. When I spend 5 mana, I love it when my creatures are 2/2s, right? Am I right? I'm just kidding. It's got flying and haste, though. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player... Oh, you have 2+1/+1 counters on it. You do get a little bit of a payoff. It's going to get bigger and bigger over time. Canty with the Poltergeist. Poultrygeist. Poultry? Is that like meat? Well, what's poultry? It is... Yeah, I'm right. It's meat. Go get your meat ghost. Okay, it's a black 2 generic 1/1 bird spirit flying. Whenever a creature dies, you may roll a 6-sided dice. If you roll a 1, sacrifice Poultrygeist. Otherwise, put a counter on it. Gambling. What a gamble. Alright, next super chat we got from Darkstar Ashura. Brine Hag. I tried to read this and ow my brain. Alright. Well, I'll take a shot at it myself. Blue, 2 generic. We got to summon the Hag. On the it's a 2/2 creature, by the way. On the turn during which Hag is placed in the graveyard. Okay, so when it dies, all creatures who dealt damage to Hag that turn become 0/2 creatures. Alright, so if you blocked my Hag and my Hag died, all the creatures that blocked it, oh no, all creatures who dealt damage to Hag. Is that even going to be a thing? Don't they order them one at a time? Use counters to mark these creatures. It's possible if only one creature dealt 2 damage. I don't know, like, I don't think all the creatures deal damage. That's a good question for the judges. And then they turn into 0/2s. You took me down. Well, I took you... I guess they got took down a little bit as well. And then they would die. Okay, one would die. Because you dealt 2 damage to a creature, that creature dealt damage to you, it turns into a 0/2, then it also dies. What a bizarre creature. Okay, you heard that music. So did I. That's time for our sponsor segment, FusionGamingOnline.com. Was there a new deal of the week this week yet? There we go. The Spooktacular sale, 15% off all singles. October 30th to 31st, 15% off everything. Go get them. Well, you can also get Yu-Gi-Oh singles because they're spooky as well. And don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu though to get 5% off all your purchases. And we're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Because if the metagame is too scary for your current deck, you just rent a new one. You can rent a deck. You can rent a new deck every single day. Play every format you want. And don't forget to support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_XQJ. I think that coupon code is expiring soon. I'm going to have a new one soon. Get it while it lasts. All right. Back to the spooky cards. Oh, hold on. One thing I've always wanted to ask: are you using the P-Hub color scheme on purpose? There's no P-Hub color scheme today. Like I just switches up. You know, by the way, I know that I have this. It's blue and purple usually in the background. All right, there's nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with anything. It's just a coincidence, damn it. It's a coincidence. But you guys can make up your own lore. Hey, I'm a content creator. Maybe I'm making content for other sites. You never know. There's a lot of faceless content out there. I'm not going to give anyone any good ideas. Moving on. Let's do Ashen Ghoul. Alright, we got a black 3 generic 3/1 zombie with haste. Pay a black. Return Ashen Ghoul from your graveyard to play. Play his ability only during your upkeep, and only if there are 3 or more cards, creature cards above Ashen Ghoul. What are you kidding me? I gotta keep track of the order of my damn cards in the graveyard? This is terrible. I don't even know the rules for this. Like, do I have to keep I think it has something to do with keeping track which card came into play first. So if this card came into play first, this one came out second, this one came out third, and you have to keep track of all that. And then when they die, I think they have a certain order to go in the graveyard. It's like almost never comes up. Like it just doesn't come up, period, anymore. It's just a weird mechanic. Ashen Ghoul's art used to freak me out for some reason. I don't blame you. What's weird is that there's this blood in the snow. And where's the blood coming from? There's just another damn skeleton buried underneath there. Alright, we got a super chat. And we prioritize them super chats. Thank you very much to Evan with Irene. We're gonna get the whole family in here. Irene Singer. Oh yeah, she's terrible. It's a 4-mana 2/2. White enchantments and green enchantments cost an additional 2 to cast. I guess it's a hate card. Just come out of nowhere. You know, for those Boggles players. Anyone playing with auras? You're not gonna like the look of Irene. Irene? Is it Irene? Irene? I want to call her Irene. Whatever. Turiat with Geralf's Messenger. Are you serious? This card's great. Oh, sorry, Geralf's. How do you pronounce? Is everyone pronouncing it Geralf or Geralf? Oh no, this is Geralf's Masterpiece, not the Messenger. Okay, the Masterpiece is a 5-mana 7/7 flyer. The Masterpiece gets -1 for each card in your hand. So be empty-handed, people. Pay for discard 3 cards. Well, that helps. Return Geralf's Masterpiece from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. What an interesting card. The cost is you are not allowed. Your cards in your hand are banned, basically. You want to play with this card? Be empty-handed. It's the Hellbent life. It's not for everybody, but I guess it's for the Drolfs out there. Sonic Liquid would be playing this in Standard. Go for it. Hey, if you play against Enchanter, then it works. Oh, you guys are talking about the last card. Would this be good in Standard? I wouldn't know. I don't play Standard. Okay. Who do we have? Kevin! Kalitas. Blood Chief of Get. Oh, Blood Chief. I wasn't aware that there is a second Kalitas out there. Okay, this is the first time I see the 7-mana 5/5 Vampire Warrior. Triple black. Tap. Destroy target creature. If that creature is put into a graveyard this way, put a black vampire creature token onto the battlefield. Its power is equal to that creature's power, and its toughness is equal to that creature's toughness. Oh, so you blow something up in like in its obliteration, forms a vampire. Blue player's not trying to not draw cards. I know it's a little anti-card draw. Who else do we have here? Old boy with Famished Ghoul. It would be why would it be well fed? That's why it's a ghoul. It's like, isn't it just starving and rotting? 4 mana, 3/2 zombie, pay a black and 1 generic, sacrifice Famished Ghoul. Remove up to 2 target cards in a single graveyard from the game. Graveyard hate. Graveyard hate attached to a creature. Very random. Why is everyone quoting good cards with the street? You know what? I'm a competitive player, so the bar for what's a good card is pretty damn high. That vampire back here. I don't know. Is this even commander playable? I get maybe if you get Cabal Coffers out, you can cast this thing like it's nothing. Whatevers. There we go. Brain in a jar. Very Halloween-like. Pay 2 for an artifact. Pay 1 tap. Put a charge counter on Brain in the jar. Then you may cast an instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost equal to the number of charge counters on Brain in the jar if you're in your hand without paying its mana cost. But then, guys, but you have to tap it to charge it. It's another one of these damn charge cards. Then you gotta pay 3 tap, remove extra. Oh my god, I remove it. Holy, did I only scry? I thought I put a creature in play or something. Remove X charge counters from Brain. I'm just scrying? You've got to be kidding me. All that work. I pay 1, I tap. And I just scrying with the damn card. This is the worst card of the show so far. I might be dead before I even get to remove, like, scry 2. Whatever. Matt with Dearly Departed. We got a white 4 generic 5/5 spirit. It's got flying. As long as Dearly Departed is in your graveyard, each human creature you control enters the battle with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. This card's crap because you're never going to be pairing it with humans. Like the spirit card, I mean, like, this got no synergy. Where are you going to play half spirit, half human deck? This card has nowhere to go. It is literally a 5-cent commander card. That's how little people want to play with this thing. I mean, I guess you could throw it in as a one-of in a human deck. It's just a big, gigantic flyer. Then if it's just dead, then it buffs up your other humans. It's just, I don't know. Everything is commander playable if you convince your play group the power level is a 5. It's very funny. When I play online, when I was in the commander section, everyone is demanding like power level 5 play groups. Only power level 5 decks, please. Power level 5. Nothing, no CEDH, power level 5. Competitive, but power level 5. It's such a weird environment out there. We got one from you, Arethusa. Skeletal Grimace. Not a creature, but I feel like it's worth mentioning. If not, Keru Bloodsucker. We haven't seen this one. The hell? This is an aura. It's a black 1 generic aura. And the enchanted creature gets +1/+1, and you can regenerate it. Good for you. Okay, Toad says Jar of Eyeballs is just as bad. Jar of Eyeballs. Pay 3. Okay, it's a 3-mana artifact. Whenever a creature you control dies, put 2 eyeball counters on Jar of Eyeballs. Like, that's better. Like, it's easier, I think, for things to just die and get value than for it to suck up my time. Like, in theory, a bunch of creatures can die and we get a bunch of counters on this thing. Okay, you pay 3 tap, remove all the eyeball counters from Jar of Eyeballs. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of eyeball counters removed this way. Put 1 of them into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This is way better than the other card. This is, like, superior. I mean, this, in comparison to the other jar, was it Brain in a Jar? Yeah, Brain in a Jar is just way worse. It's funny. The Brain one is so slow moving and stupid. The eyeball one is really fast. Like, stuff dies all the time. But you're gonna wipe my board with some sort of X damage spell. So, like, I'm going to easily get the eyeballs. Beanpot with Ghost Ship. Oh, this is not what I thought it was. Oh, no, no, no. This is what I thought it is. This is the old card. It's a Ghost Ship. You might have seen it from Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a blue, 2 generic, 2/4 ship. You summon the ship. This is an old-fashioned vehicle. Oh, apparently it's been errated to a spirit. That's wild. Look, it's a spirit creature. What kind of spirit is a ship? Gotta get out of here. Okay, okay, whoops. It's a 2/4 flying. You can pay triple blue to regenerate it. That is not a very blue ability. Not that I need my blue creatures to regenerate anyway. Ellie with Anurid Merc Diver, Zombie Frog Boy. We got ourselves a 6-mana 4/3 with Swamp Walk. That's right, baby. It's basically true name. It's not really even true name Nemesis, but it's unblockable. If you got a swamp. Hey, it's a Halloween time. The value of Swamp Walk is gonna go up around this time. Everyone's gonna bring out their vampire and zombie deck. Vampire, zombies, witches. I don't know, food decks. Food decks seem like very... Food is the ultimate Halloween deck. You know, food is like candy. What else? We did Irene Singer. You were here the entire show, Christopher V. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, Dark Star Ashura has a super chat. What is your super chat? Evil Eye of Orms. Evil Eye of... Orms by Gore. Or Evil Eye of Urborg. They're very similar. That's okay. We could go with the OG. It's a black 4 generic 3/6 eyeball. Non-eye creatures you control can't attack. The ones you control... So this is for an eye-typal deck. And there's probably not even enough eyes to make it a playable deck. Evil Eye of Orms by Gore can't be blocked except by walls. So unblockable. The only thing blocking it is a wall. Can't get through that. So send it to jail. That's the only way you can keep it under control. Non-eye creatures you control can't attack. That is BS. Basically inhibits the rest of your... Wait, you're only going to have one creature in the deck? The Evil Eye by Orms? Who did not get anything? I think everyone's got something by now, so... Oh, I don't know if Code Cactus got... All the changelings, yes. Good job. Code Cactus. I agree. Jeff! What do you got for us, Jeff? Moth does change that you can't... Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay. So, you could... Okay, you got... Oh, now I get it. You're talking about this card. Yeah, if you make a changeling deck, it'll work. Yeah, all your eye creatures, which are changelings, they're going to get into the red zone. But you could play the changeling with the 6 eye creatures. You've assembled the eye deck. Oh, the Amazing Wally. Thanks for jumping in there. The Feral Shadow with Urborg Panther. What is this, a combo? Okay, hold on. Feral Shadow, which is just a 2/1 flyer. Urborg Panther. Okay, we saw the Feral Shadow already. Plus Breath Stealer. You're stealing like a combo on a non-combo show. Oh, are you saying this is just a combo of all these things? The Urborg Panther, it's a 2/2 for 3. Pay a black, sacrifice Urborg Panther, destroy target creature blocking Urborg Panther. Sacrifice Feral Shadow, Breath Stealer, and Urborg Panther. Search your library for Spirit of the Night and put it into play as if it were just played. So you need the combo. You need the Feral Shadow, the Breath Stealer, and the Breath Stealer. So what was this? The Urborg Panther. Oh, the Feral Shadow, Breath, and then here's the Breath Stealer. 3 mana for a 2/2. Pretty pathetic. What is it? The Spirit of the Night? Whoa! Okay, 9 mana for a 6/5. It's a legend. Flying Trample, protection from black. First strike when attacking. Spirit of the Night is unaffected by summoning sickness, which means it has haste. Okay, we got Chow with Quag Vampires. Sounds like a combination of witches and vampires. We got the Quag Vampire. We got a black 1/1. It got multi-kicker. You got them Cabal Coffers. Maybe multi-kick it. We got Swamp Walk. Enter the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on for each time it was kicked. That's right. You could have an unlimitedly large creature if you would like. This is not a Merfolk show. This is a Halloween show. You get out of there with those questions around here. You asked me on the Merfolk show, or ask me on Twitter. Anna with Working Stiff. Oh, you are Working Stiff. We have a black 1 generic 2/2 mummy. As Working Stiff comes into play, straighten your arms. When you bend an elbow, sacrifice Working Stiff. Oh God. Oh, does your nose itch? I can deal with that, no problem. What would be a big problem? Okay, hold on. Can I shuffle my deck? I'm pretty sure I can shuffle the deck. I can hold my cards. Well, I'm holding them really far out. What else can I do? I could play cards. This would get exhausting really quickly, though. Would not recommend playing with Working Stiff. There's not even a payoff for this thing. It's literally a grizzly bear. I have to work stiff just to have like mediocre cards on the battlefield. Bone Dancer. Okay, we have a black 1 generic 2/2 zombie. Pay 0. Put the top creature card of defending player's graveyard into play under your control. Bone Dancer deals no combat damage this turn. Uses ability only if Bone Dancer is attacking and unblocked and only once each turn. It's like ninjutsu. You get this thing in play if there's no defender. Opponent is screwed. Completely screwed. Feedy Fox. Candy Grapple. Black 1 generic. Oh, this is when the candy apple takes a bite out of you. Instant bargain. Sacrifice it. You may sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token as you cast the spell. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. If this spell is bargained, that creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. Did you mean poisonous? There's no such thing as a venomous apple. Oh, whatever. Okay, Dark Star Shura. You seem to love this show. This is your show today. Doing $5, but it's 3 cards, but they go together. Festering Newt. Bubbling Cauldron. Oh, this one. The combo. Combo no one puts together. And the Bog Brew Witch. Worst combo ever enabled in draft possible. Black 3 generic 1/3 human wizard. Why aren't the witches witches? It's not politically correct or something. You would think that could be a creature type. All right, pay 2, tap, search your library for a card named Festering Newt or Bubbling Cauldron. Put on the battlefield tapped. We got our Newt. Guess what's gonna happen to you, Newt? The same thing that happened to the cat and the oven. You go right straight in there. You sack a creature, you gain 4 life. Also pay 1, tap, sacrifice a creature named Festering Newt. Each opponent loses 4 life. You gain life. See, you gain life equal to life lost this way. Even if you pull this off, it's it's not that good. Alright, we get one from you, Tyler? I don't know. Zephyr Spirit. The 6 mana 0/6, and if it blocks, you have to return it to your hand. What kind of spirit is this? That's a shitty ghost. That's the crappiest ghost I've ever seen. Iris is like, when I first started playing, this is the combo I use. This is great. I'm gonna deal so much damage to my opponents. This is amazing. Oh, where'd the witch go? Oh, the witch is gone, or well, whatever. Don't remember their name. The Festering Newt. Festering Newt combo. Let's get one from Tommy. Mutilate. You want to see the old artwork, huh? It's more nostalgic. Oh yes, this actually is a little bit creepy. Creep show like. Black, black 2 generic sorcery. All creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn for each swamp you control. Not a bad alternative sweeper if you need it. And remember, it gets around things that have protection from black and have indestructible. See you later, Darkstar. Thanks for showing up. All the witches change from wizards to warlocks. Okay, then call them warlocks. What was that last warlock? The Bog Brew Witch. It's not even it's a human wizard. It's not even a warlock. Give me something here. Something wizards. Yeah, we did the Tresor Horn. Everyone. You were there, old boy. I swear you were there. How are you not keeping track of these things? King Ginger, Bone Shard Slasher. It's a black 1 generic 1/1 horror. With flying, Threshold, Bone Slasher gets +2/+2 and has when Bone Shard Slasher becomes the target of a spell or ability, you have to sacrifice it. It's a goddamn illusion. It actually, in some ways, gets worse once you achieve the threshold. So if I have 7 or more cards in my graveyard, now I can just die to anything. It could survive some cards before. It could get tapped and stuff like that. Now if it's targeted by anything, it dies. It was too strong for its own good. Really don't understand the flavor to this particular type of card. Hi, Ducky! 10 out of 10 avatar. Which is Vengeance. Witch's Vengeance, black, 1 generic sorcery. Creatures of the creature type of your choice get -3/3 until end of turn. I am not happy about that card. They're gonna come out from my merfolk. My merfolk need... my merfolk... let's just say the toughness isn't very high on merfolk. The touches aren't high. Okay, next up we've got... Unholy Fiend from Christopher. Alright, white 1 generic for a 1/1 human. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may transform the Cloistered Youth. Okay, what do you turn into? The Unholy Fiend. At the beginning of your end step, you lose 1 life. Very underwhelming. I could do better. What is the deal? At the beginning of your upkeep, what is this? It's a horror? The Fiend tormented them by recounting the girl's memories as if some part of her remained inside that twisted shell. It's not a werewolf. I really don't understand. I heard her talking in her sleep, pleading, shrieking, snarling. It was not my daughter's voice. That is... Oh, is this like a poltergeist thing? Honestly, I'm not really familiar with like horror lore. I don't find horror movies very interesting. I don't scare easily unless... the only thing you'll scare me is the jump scares. Who doesn't get scared by jump scares? Oh, yeah, that's what I was going... The Exorcist. I've seen the trailers. A Blood Moon in a... Blood Moon in a Wooburg deck. Yeah, that's scary. Or Blood Moon against a Wooburg deck. Usually Wooburg decks, they try to build a mana base that could not die to this thing instantly. Okay, yeah, Blood Moon in... Okay, but in the Wooburg deck, it is very flavorful in horror, but it'll be terrible for the deck. Yeah, my Iris's worst nightmare. This is everybody's worst nightmare. Blood Moon has been haunting the game since when? It's such an old card. It's not even doing its job anymore. Since... The Dark. 1994. Wow, that's a long time. I just put Blood Moon in my Wooburg deck. You never know when it's gonna come in handy. Some 1/2/4C with Blood Curdler. It's disgusting. The picture is disgusting. I don't even... It's got so many heads. Black 1 generic 1/1 flying horror. At the beginning of your upkeep, put the top card of your library into your graveyard. That's not a bad ability. Threshold. Blood Curdler gets +1/+1 and has at the end of your turn removed 2 cards in your graveyard from the game. That sucks. So we worked so hard to get threshold, and we got all we get is +1/+1, and I have to remove I have to remove my advantage from the game at the end of every single turn. It's basically 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's what this card also could be called. Okay, we have apparently a card that's awesomely bad with Suspicious Shambler. Very suspicious. 4 mana, 4/2. With the activated ability of a whole 6 mana. Oh, I have to exile this thing as well? Oh, but from the graveyard. Okay, that's not too bad. Create 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. But I have to only activate as a sorcery. I must tap out. I have to tap out in front of you. We did Irene. Irene is a great one. Hugh with the Erg. Erg? Sounds like AI generated. Erg! ERG. Erg Raiders. Okay, this is a real card. It's a black 1 generic 2/3 human warrior. At the beginning of your end step, if Erg Raiders didn't attack this turn, Erg Raiders deals 2 damage to you. Unless it came under your control this turn. So basically they're saying you're sending this in the red zone. It's got to attack every turn. And if you don't, it's going to attack somebody and it's going to be you. Chow's Abyssal Horror. I want to say we did this one, but you know what? We looked at a lot of horrors today, so maybe I am mistaken. The Abyssal Horror, a black 4 generic 2/2 flyer. When it comes into play, target player discards 2 cards from their hand. 6 mana for him to Turok. We did Uncle Istvan. Yeah, wait, yeah, what is an Erg? It's probably the sound that they make when they want to attack. And if they don't if you don't let them attack, then they attack you instead. Okay, Greater Werewolf. It got greater. Or Dirty Werewolf. Ew, what the hell is this? Okay, it's a black 4 generic 2/4. Summon a lycanthrope. Does anyone know what the hell that is? At end of combat, we're gonna put a -0, -2 counter on each creature blocking or blocked by Greater Werewolf. What the hell is this mechanic? Okay, so you block me and you turn into some sort of... Oh no, it's a counter. It doesn't turn into a creature. It gets like just a counter. So it is slightly getting weaker and weaker and weaker. We're like, I don't know, we're sucking their energy or something like that. To that effect. A lycanthrope is a werewolf. That is a very fancy name for werewolf. Werewolf fam in the house. Toilet Duck with Exava. Rakdos Witch. You know what I'm going to do next year? I think I should have just done a rating show so you could, like, give us anything. Oh, I remember this card. It looked like it was going to be really good in spoiler season, and then it was just pure crap. It was, didn't really pass the bar. You know, 4 mana for this thing just ended up being a little too clunky. It has First Strike and Haste for a 3/3 creature at 4 mana. It's got Unleash. You may have this creature enter the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. It can't block as long as it has a +1/+1 counter on it. So it's like a 4/4. Each other creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has haste. Didn't really work out. Mayhem Delve. That card's busted. That card's absolutely busted. Ooh, Iris want to get in this terror for spooky out. The OG terror, I think you want. Oh god, there's a lot of terror cards. There it is! That's the original terror. I actually hated the game for this type of art. I couldn't stand it. Like, terror, then you got this Greater Werewolf. Like, that was not a turn on for me. You know, coming from the Pokemon trading card game, I was like, this is a very ugly aesthetic this game has. I don't want to have anything to do with it. And I still don't like it. Pandering to need. It's a Vexing Devil. Vexing Devil, the 1 mana 4/3. Enter the card that everyone thinks is good, but it's absolute rubbish. Shouldn't be it's $2 right now. Should be straight to like 5 cents. It's a 4/3. Why would even Commander players want to play this? Oh, maybe there's not many devils for a devil typal deck. Enters the battlefield. Any opponent may have it. Deal 4 damage to them. If a player does, sacrifice Vexing Devil. So you may not even get anything in play. Nothing at all. Evan, how about the Wormfang Manta? We got a blue 5 generic for a 6/1 flyer. Nah. Okay, whenever Wormfang Manta comes into play, oh my god, we have to skip our turn. Then when Wormfang Manta leaves play, you take an extra turn after this one. It's not bad. It's not. I don't know how you can get the bonus side without getting losing the bad side. Hit Monkey with the dollar super chat. All right, what do you got for us, Hit Monkey? Supposed to. The problem is when you donate $1, you don't have any words to go with the super chat. Okay, super chat for the love. All right, so then it's a donation then. We'll give it to Nothing But Cold. Behold the unspeakable. Behold the unspeakable. What does this have to do with Halloween? Oh, I guess it's some sort of weird monster in the background. 5 mana. Chapter 1, creatures you don't control get -2/-0 until end of turn. Chapter 2, if you have 1 or fewer cards in your hand, draw 4 cards. What? Otherwise, scry 2, then draw 2 cards. That's insane. This is like Ancestral Recall. Chapter 3, exile the saga, return to the battlefield transformed. And you get yourself the Unspeakable Vision. It's a spirit. It's a flying trampler. Vision of the Unspeakable gets +1/+1 for each card in your hand. You were empty-handed, but now you're full-handed. Your belly's full. All right, well, that's it for Coffee and MTG today. I hope you enjoyed the Halloween special. It gives me some ideas for next year. As usual, if you want to be part of the show, you gotta be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks, everyone, for the support. Everyone who's a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, be part of the adventure. For the thousands of people who come here for Coffee and MTG. And we gotta thank the coffee crew showing up in the morning, because without all of you, I'd be nothing. We gotta thank Mario and Ali and Jacob, Toads, Mr. Deadhead, Old Boy, Abzo, Coffee and Buns, The Big Squig, Coulter Chase, Christopher B, Iris Secular, The Is, Toads, Henrik, Platonic Liquid, because as usual, my coffee crew, you guys are what makes this show so special. So keep brewing up them coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves. Happy trick-or-treating, and I'll see you at the next cup.